Hi guys! Today's video is going to be on 21 slime hacks everyone needs to know, and I really hope that you find it useful. To help get slime stains out of your carpet, get a washing up capsule you'd normally put in your washing machine with your clothes and just cut it open and mix it in with some hot water. After you've done that, you just want to get a face flannel or a cloth and just soak that in the mixture really well. We're then going to apply it directly to the stain and leave it there to soak and then scrub it off. If you want to make a fluffy slime but you run out of shaving foam, I recommend using some hair mousse. You only want to use a tiny bit of this because, as you can see, it expands and it also has a very different texture from shaving cream. It does bulk it up and make it fluffy, but it's more like foaming hand wash, whereas shaving cream is a bit more silky and thick. I really like storing my activators in water bottles with the lids that pull up and down, because then you can control how much activator you're adding to your mixture and you don't pour too much in. It's really important to mark this as borax though, just so you don't drink it thinking it's water. I also like storing my activator in hand soap pumps because this gives out even amounts each time. If you've run out of paint, another way you can colour your slimes is with some old powdered makeup. I like to use eyeshadows and blushes the best because they have the nicest colour variety, and here I'm just using an eyeshadow and it gives a really nice even colour once it's all mixed in. A question I always get is on how to make glossy slime. This is literally the easiest thing to make ever. You just need some glue, some hair conditioner and a tiny bit of baby oil. You want to go ahead and mix this all in and add your activator and then store it in a container for 1 day to make it extra glossy, and this is what it comes out looking like. If you're finding your slimes are always going hard, you might be adding a bit too much activator. Instead of doing 1 tablespoon of borax to 1 cup, I recommend half a tablespoon of borax to 1 cup so it's more diluted. If borax isn't available in your country, another really good alternative is Kershaw's laundry starch. I use 2 teaspoons of this to a cup of water and then stir it in. A cheap way to get beads for foam is to get a neck pillow containing micro beads and just cut it open, and it contains so many beads. To swirl your slime, you're going to want to grab either end of the slime, and then with one hand you want to stretch out the slime and pass it to the other. You want to do this about 20 times until you get a nice swirl, and then you want to drop it in a circular motion to give this really nice end swirl. You can also mix colours together in this way, and I really like doing it because it gives a really funky effect when you're mixing it in, and the colour at the end is so even and lovely. Instead of throwing old slime away or making a slime smoothie, you can actually make jiggly slime with it. I like to add my first batch of old slime into the bowl and then add some foaming hand wash and some hot water on top of that. You want to keep stirring the mixture until you can't feel any lumpy bits of the slime anymore, and that's when you're ready to add more of the old slime. It doesn't have to be the same batch of old slime. I actually prefer when it isn't because it gives a nicer texture. Once that's all mixed in, you can go ahead and add some activator if your slime is sticky, and then it's ready to play with. If you've made a slime with a really nice texture but it's sticking to your fingers a lot, I recommend going in with some baby oil. This will help you keep the same texture, but it will reduce the stick. If that method doesn't work, you just want to go in with a tiny bit more activator. I recommend about 1 pump just to get rid of that stickiness. If you accidentally add too much activator to your slime, sometimes the slimes can become hard and break. I recommend adding a lot of moisturiser. I'm using Johnson's baby lotion, and I massage this in for about 10 minutes and my slime becomes really stretchy and smooth. A really cool way to add some colour to your slime is with a highlighter. You want to go over the slime and just dot the highlighter all around. You can also cut off the nib if you're not going to use it again, and this lets out a lot of ink. You want to mix this all in until you get a really nice even colour, and you can keep adding highlighter like I did. I did actually use the whole highlighter and it gave a really nice green. To stop your slime sticking to your container, just add a tiny bit of baby oil and go around with a tissue, wiping it around the sides. If you want a slime that has bubbles on the top, I recommend using some foaming hand wash. If you're from England, it's actually really hard to get, but you can find it in the kids section in Tesco. To reduce the risk of beads falling out of your foam, you want to make sure your slime is really sticky. The stickiness will all go because it will be picking up the foam beads and then it won't stick to your hand anymore. If you want to make slime but you don't have the ingredients, I recommend mixing dish soap and cornstarch together. This gives a really nice clay-like slime and it's so stress relieving. My favourite way to soften hard slimes is by putting it in a bowl and covering it with water. After you've done that, you do want to poke it in a bit just so the water absorbs, and then you want to pop it in the microwave for about 10 to 15 seconds. Once it comes out, you do need to leave it for 30 seconds because it will be a bit hot, but it will become so much more stretchy and nice to play with.